Yes. How you doing, Jody? Good morning. This is a Stephanie Miller show. As you can tell, Mama's not in right now.
No.
And
things are going really well.
and I just got word from Casey that he can hear all of us, Chris.
Oh, good.
So that's a good news. Maybe it's the wrong mix minus that's plugged into the computer here on our end. But anyways, Jody.
Hi.
Hi. That was a light way to start the day after a shooting.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Hi. Mama is not in the basement with Chris, and not that she could help him either, because it's Mama.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be able to help either.
No, she would. she would be upstairs, and Jamie would be mauling her right now.
Exactly.
I'm listening a message to Chris real quick here while you keep talking, Jody. I'm listening.
Hi. So I'm going to try. I have an extra table here with all of the stuff that Travis sent me that I read this morning. Good luck. Wish me luck. We're going to need it. If you need to call us, 323-468-1135 is the number, because I know
that is correct.
And we have my boyfriend Charlie coming up at next hour, at the bottom of the next hour. And we do have some sad news. 10 people were murdered yesterday at a King Soopers in Boulder, Colorado. I used to live above a King Soopers in Denver, so I know the store. Wow. And it's kind of like a Kroger or Ralph's for people here in LA. So your basic giant grocery store. And according to the news, they haven't been very forthcoming. I watched that news conference yesterday. Did you see it too? Yes,
it was extremely weird that there was like no detail whatsoever. And we've seen the man that was taken into police custody, the man with the bloody leg.
Right.
They have not said that he is the shooter, but
he was in handcuffs.
He was in handcuffs. It appeared that they had stripped him out of whatever he was wearing. So we don't know if he had tactical gear on or what he was wearing when he went into the grocery store.
Yeah, right.
They I saw some. I think it was one of the some analysis with Rachel Maddow, and he mentioned that a lot of times what they'll do in a situation like that is they'll have the person start removing clothing, like shirts and things like that, in case he has concealed weapons underneath.
Right, yeah.
So that's most likely why he appeared to be just wearing boxer shorts at that point.
Right, and the only person that they've identified was the police officer who was killed on scene.
Yeah, and we did get an update later that evening that there were 10.
10, yeah, including the police officer, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing really new this morning either that I've seen.
No, I was checking for updates, hoping I could give you guys a little bit more this morning. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about the shooter. We don't know anything about the weapon itself.
Right.
I've seen on Twitter AR-15s, but I don't know if that was just Twitter. I've not seen a news source reporting that one.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I'm going to wait and see what we hear from actual news sources. The other thing that I emailed you this morning, the Washington Post is reporting that Boulder City Council had voted an assault weapons ban in
2018
following Parkland. Mm-hmm. And that ban was overturned by a court 10 days ago.
Right.
So the timing of this is just
interesting to say the least.
Yeah, unfortunate. And it's, we're coming off of, last week in Atlanta. Right. And then we're looking at this shooting as well. And there's one other story I sent you yesterday that I just want to flag, because I haven't heard a whole lot of reporting about it, and it may be separate, but the guy who hijacked the National Guard convoy in Texas. Right. If you guys haven't heard about this, it was, let me pull the story up here.
I have too.
A gunman, an Arizona man, says said that police say that he corralled a convoy of National Guardsmen transporting the COVID-19 vaccine to Matador, Texas on Monday morning. He was a 66-year-old man out of Arizona. He tailed 3 National Guard vehicles from a gas station. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he told police afterwards that he thought a woman and a child were hostage in the vans.
Yeah, that was
which
strange.
But also starts sounding like QAnon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anytime I hear women and children, especially children, that's where my head goes to is QAnon and those conspiracies. But it's I think there's one of the victims that was at the Super King yesterday who said, "You don't feel safe anywhere anymore."
Yeah, and I saw him being interviewed, and it's like we can't even go grocery shopping. And then people going, AR doesn't stand for assault rifle, as if that matters. It's the name of the manufacturer is what the AR stands for.
Yeah.
And it's like, who cares? And by the way, people are going, oh, had these people been, have had guns on them at the grocery store? Well, a cop had a gun on him. He was killed. The thing with like good guys with guns preventing this is the element of surprise. It's not like the gunman walked in and said, hey, I'm going to start shooting. Everybody get your gun. Because Colorado is an open carry and concealed carry state. You can have a gun on you at any moment in time. So the fact of the matter is 10 people were murdered yesterday. And the element of surprise is why there are no good guys with guns, really. Even if there are good guys with guns, they don't know that this is going to happen because there is no guy knocking on the door saying, please get your gun out so I can be prepared, so that you can be prepared when I walk in and shoot at you. Well, that doesn't happen.
And it's also that they're pointing out, because it is open carry in Colorado, you can legally be a person walking to a parking lot holding an assault rifle.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything to you. They can't stop you. People cannot question you.
Right.
Until you point that gun and pull the trigger.
Right.
At least living here in LA, we obviously don't have those types of laws. But even when they're, during the protests over the summer, when they did have National Guard out in Hollywood,
I remember
that was jarring to see people in military gear on Hollywood Boulevard with assault rifles. There's an intimidation factor that comes with that. And to see somebody walk into a parking lot with a gun like that would also be absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I remember after the riots, I went to a nightclub on Sunset Boulevard, and National Guard were stationed outside of the Hollywood Division Police Department. And I parked my Jeep, and all I thought was, because I literally parked next to the tank that was on Wilcox or wherever it was. And I got out of my Jeep and I went, I could leave the Jeep running. Nobody's going to steal my car right now. There's a guy in a tank right next to my car,
You do feel a little safe that way, I guess.
It was feeling safe, and also feeling like, I remember during that time watching a tank come off the freeway and get onto Hollywood Boulevard. And I was like, that is the strangest. And last summer, Lonnie and I went to Santa Monica, to the pier, when the Guard were called to the 3rd Street Promenade. And we drove by several guys near tanks and then with their guns, and it was just like, it's disconcerting, as well as a feeling of safety in a weird way. And walking down, seeing some guy walk down the street with a gun would terrify me.
Right. And again, if you saw a person on the street with a gun here, you would react, possibly call the police. You would definitely have a concern. But I've never lived in a state that has open carry like that. I've never lived in a state where someone could just be walking around.
Well, when Lonnie and I visited his father a few years back in Florida, his neighbor from behind, I'm in the house, Lonnie and his dad were out front, and this guy comes through the back sliding glass door with a rifle. And I was like, I don't know this guy. And he's holding a rifle, and I'm a little, put off, and I yelled out the front door, Larry, there's a guy with a gun coming through the back door. And he's like, oh, it's my neighbor. Don't worry about it. I'm like, I worry when people come into a house that I don't know with a gun.
Legit concerns. Concerns.
I was like, okay, this is a little frightening. He was just coming over to show Larry his new rifle, but it was just like, this is a weird thing for me.
Yeah. Seeing somebody with a gun like that. Hopefully we're going to find out more information today on what's going on back there. I
understand them not releasing the names of the other people that were murdered, until their families obviously are notified, because I know 100%. Well, I know that the Tracy Nelson and her brothers found out about their dad in a plane wreck on television. They weren't even notified before the press got a hold of it and said something. So you don't want the press to notify you. You want to be notified. So until they're all notified, we're not going to know who was killed, or because one of the witnesses said they saw 2 people just inside the store and 1 person outside the grocery store already.
He opened fire in the parking lot.
Wow.
That's that they did. There was I believe it was on Rachel Maddow last night, or maybe Chris Hayes, but it was a student who lived across the street, a student at CU Boulder.
Boulder, okay.
Who lives across the street, and she had called in, and she said that they heard what they thought was a car backfiring, and they looked out the window, then they heard more shots, and that's when they saw the man. And she described him as looking panicked. Like she said, he didn't appear to be a cop because of the way he was reacting and the way he was moving outside the store. And she saw him shoot 1 person in the parking lot and then go up a handicap access ramp and into the store. And then you heard stories about people in the store running, hearing the gunshots, running for their lives to the back of the store. And I believe one article I saw last night that at one point a grocery store worker said, "Follow me, we'll lead you out of here." And they were walking single file with their hands on the shoulders of the person in front of them.
Right. And then some people went through the ceiling to get rescued, is what I read.
There was police came in through the ceiling. These people were taken out the back of the store through the loading docks.
Okay.
So we're still waiting for more details on that. And also Chris is not hearing us right now. So let's say, Chris, can you hear us right now? You can hear us right now.
I can hear you just
Chris,
fine, guys.
Let's go ahead and break.
Okay.
We can't hear the music, so we're just going to assume that there's music playing because you are dancing and bopping for us right now.